Bienvenue à tous. Welcome to Reporters here on France 24. China is threatening the world population of donkeys. Demand for a spurious health product made from boiled donkey hide means the animals could become endangered. China's going through some 10 million donkey skins a year because of this questionable trend. There are only 44 million donkeys on Earth, full stop. So you can do the maths. Bastien Renouil joins us by satellite. Bastien, how did you find out about this traffic of donkeys?
Well, we first heard about it thanks to Kenyan media. They were really surprised to see the opening of 3 donkey slaughterhouses in Kenya because here people are not used to the consumption of donkey meat. It's a kind of taboo. Donkey is a farm animal, so it was very surprising for Kenyan media. But first, they didn't talk about the risk that donkeys and donkeys in Kenya are facing. It's the Donkey Sanctuary, an NGO that raised awareness about it. You're going to see them in the report.
Bastien, thank you very much indeed. Bastien Renouil, our reporter. A warning for you, this film contains images that you might find both offensive and distasteful.
Each month, Sophie Roux prepares herself a cup of Ejiao, a powder well known in China for its purported health benefits. Drinks, cakes, pills, there are many ways to consume this substance made out of gelatin from donkeys.
Let me open it to show you. This is pure Ejiao. It doesn't taste nice. It's complicated to get because you have to go to a pharmacy and ask them to make it into a powder, or you have to melt a piece. It's very complicated to prepare.
Sophie doesn't like the taste. But since it's a high-end product, it's good to be seen drinking it. It's a sign of wealth.
My father was the one to offer it to me. He gives it to me every year. He and his friends offer it as a gift. Ejiao is a lovely present, a health product, so people give it to each other frequently.
It's said to act as a blood thinner, reduce the side effects of chemotherapy, and even enhance the libido. China's economy has been growing steadily for more than 40 years. The country's development has fostered a burgeoning middle class of some 130 million people. And it's mostly the middle class that buys products like this. In Shanghai, specialized shops are flourishing. Some products are extremely expensive, like Ejiao, that can cost up to 600 euros per kilogram. Inside these offices, nutritionists give counseling over the internet. It's a lucrative business.
E-commerce is rapidly growing in China, and when you look on the internet, you can sell all sorts of Ejiao products. It sells well. The most popular product is sold more than 36,000 times each month.
Sales exploded in 2010 thanks to an advertising campaign on TV and the internet. It provoked new interest in a remedy that had all but disappeared from the shelves.
Ejiao is considered a traditional medicine because it can be found in a reference book on traditional Chinese medicines from more than 2,000 years ago. It comes from communities raising donkeys in the countryside, like in Shandong province or in the southwest.
This is only partly true. Because of the demand, the Chinese donkey population has been halved, falling by over 5 million in the last 25 years. So the industry has sought another source. They found it more than 9,000 kilometers from the office of the nutritionist, in Africa. The continent has become a major supplier. In Kenya, with its 1.8 million donkeys, we tracked down Ejiao to this slaughterhouse. John and his family specialize in selling animal hides, But before the Chinese approached them, donkey skins weren't a product they sold.
Because in Kenya we were not used of the slaughtering the donkeys, I just tell them that we don't consume donkey meat. But they kept on insisting about it.
Since 2016, 3 specialized slaughterhouses have opened in Kenya. They're all Chinese-owned. The one John manages kills up to 200 donkeys a day. The meat is then cut up and packed. But it's another part of the animal that interests the exporters.
Here we do the removing of the skins. It goes in a process. They remove the skin here until it reaches here, where they are now going to remove the red offals and the green offals. We have to remove the skin up to the hoofs, and we have to remove the skin, even the head. You see, the whole head. We are going to remove even the mouth.
They can't lose a centimeter of skin. With an average price of 8,000 Kenyan shillings, about 65 euros per hide, it's the most valuable part of the animal. It's the piece needed to make the gelatin for Ejiao. We wanted to film how that's done, but the factories involved are overwhelmingly linked to the Communist Party and refuse to allow cameras. The only exception, Chinese public television, which was able to film these images.
一张新鲜的驴皮要变成一盒成品阿胶，需要99道大工序，300多道小工序，长口锅慢火细熬，整道流程下来需要足足80天。
所以说，这个经验对阿胶生产以后，它的要求也是非常严格，就在这里。
掌握火候是手工熬胶贯穿始终的技艺，凭借的就是丰富的熬胶经验。通常3斤驴皮才能熬制出1斤阿胶。
The Chinese appetite for Ejiao continues to grow. To meet the demand, manufacturers would need to purchase 10 million skins per year. But there are only 44 million donkeys on the planet. In the slaughterhouse storage area, several thousand pieces are ready for export, en route to Asia.
Here we use salt, industrial salt, to preserve the skin, and it drains the water. It drains the blood. That is part of curing the skin. And this now material it can even take 1 year without being spoiled.
But John doesn't have to wait nearly so long. In just 1 month, he can fill and sell a container of 2,500 skins. The production rate is so fast, Kenyan donkeys are no longer enough for the industry. Not far from the slaughterhouses, these men have spotted a business opportunity. They found illegal ways to supply the animals.
We get them from the Maasai in Tanzania. We have to go on foot to get them across the border and secretly leave the country. Once in Kenya, we have to pay a tax, but it's becoming more and more complicated. The Tanzanian president wants to curb the export of animals.
To save the species, Tanzania has joined Mali, Senegal, and 11 other African countries in banning the slaughter of donkeys. Kenya hasn't followed suit, but reports of abuse are beginning to add up. In the countryside outside Nairobi, the trade has become a problem for farmers who need donkeys for agricultural work. Thefts are multiplying. Gerald has had to rent his neighbor's donkey.
I'm just starting to use this donkey, and since I'm not its owner, it doesn't obey me very well. That's why we have to help it and push it, because it doesn't belong to us. Our donkeys have all been stolen.
The robbers always use the same tactics.
They come at night, around 1 or 2 in the morning, and then come into the stable. They steal the donkeys, and we never see them again.
Today, Gerald has a visit from the NGO Donkey Sanctuary.
Hello, how are you? I'm here with the veterinarian.
Hello, doctor, how are you?
Last week, some men tried to steal his newest animal.
Come inside, I'll show you what they did. It's from that side that the robbers entered. They broke this piece of wood, but thanks to this piece of sheet metal, they weren't able to take the donkey with them.
The only proof of their entry? The knives they had with them to dismember the animal. Gerald wants to show them to the two men.
This time I heard the robbers and I went outside. It scared them and they ran away. They left these knives behind and fled.
We are advising him to reinforce the shelter to keep it more secure. And that's why now he's thinking of going to an option of putting the stones.
The farmer has already lost 3 donkeys. Only 1 foal is left. But it's impossible to look after it since its mother has disappeared. So the donkey sanctuary is taking care of it. Since Kenya is a staunch defender of wild animals, the NGO veterinarian can't understand why the authorities are doing nothing.
One of the major challenges we have realized is that when you want to exploit an animal for food, you never usually utilize too many of them. But when you are exploiting an animal for only one part of their body, you realize that you can actually over-utilize them. That is a problem we have seen in whales, we have seen in elephants, rhinos.
The organization has tried to raise awareness among government officials, but so far without success.
We had a lot of petitions. Over 1,000 people signed signatures, petitioning the government to stop the trade in donkey skin. So this is the report they came with us to show us what has been happening, and the report covers the year between 2014 and 2016.
During that time, more than 100,000 donkey skins were shipped to China. The government, which declined to comment on the situation, has taken no measures to protect the animals. Even to the contrary, according to our information, a 4th slaughterhouse is about to be authorized. If nothing else is done, the donkey sanctuary estimates that Kenya's donkey population could all but disappear in just about 6 years.
Our reporter Bastien Renouil is still with us. Bastien, thank you for your film. And I'm wondering if there's any science that says Ejiao is of any benefit to anyone.
Well, it depends who you are talking to. If you talk to a Chinese doctor, he will tell you that Ejiao has been in Chinese traditional medicine for more than 2,000 years, and that, yes, it's proved. According to them, it's good for blood circulation. There are some studies made by Chinese showing that it can help to prevent the side effects of chemotherapy or boost the libido, but almost none of these studies were published in serious health journal. The one that we found was published in Japanese International Journal of Hematology, and it shows that Ejiao can be a good medicine for pregnant women suffering of anemia, but that's the only effect that is proved up to now. All the other ones are just hypotheses.
The Chinese and the Kenyans don't actually eat the donkey meat. It's all about the skin. So I'm wondering what the consequences are for the farmers, because after all, they're losing what to them is a key asset.
Well, just imagine for a minute, you're a Kenyan farmer, you live in the countryside, you have no car, no motorbike, and every day you have to go up to 10 kilometers to a dam to get water. The donkey can help you to bring back this water to your home. If one day you wake up and there is no more donkey, it has been killed, its skins has been stripped off, what can you do? It's an absolute disaster. And Chinese demand increased the price of a donkey here in Kenya. It now worth more than 200 euros. It's a huge amount for Kenyan farmers. So if they lose their donkey, it's over for them.
And you say some 14 African countries have now banned the export of donkeys for such purposes. So why not Kenya?
Well, Kenya's government is fully aware about this issue, and they can't really do something about it because it's now a very important business in Kenya. As an example, the slaughterhouse that we visited, that you saw in the report, employs more than 200 people, and it's very small business. Like donkey skins trade gives jobs to more than 1,000 people in Kenya, maybe 3,000. So Kenya cannot stop this export. Also, it gives a lot of money to the government. Taxes are up to 80% if you want to export donkey skins, so that's really important. It brings millions of dollars every year in Kenya. And also, it's a kind of diplomatic tool. China is really important in Kenya. They build all the big infrastructures during the past years. So it's a way for Kenya to keep a good relation with China.
I find it hard to believe that these donkeys aren't suffering, and that's something that I find extremely distasteful. But talking of taste, have you, Bastien, actually tried this Ejiao?
No, not yet, because it's really difficult to find it in Kenya, and even over the world, like some websites such as eBay, just ban the sales of Ejiao products, so it's really easy to find it in China, but anywhere else in the world it's getting more and more difficult.
Bastien, thank you very much indeed. Bastien Renouil, our reporter this week. See it again, of course, via our website, france24.com. This is Reporters on France 24. Stay with us.